My beloved child, that night the world slept deeply beneath a thick shroud of darkness, and none knew that dawn had quietly taken its place at the edge of the sky. When the first light pierced through the night, I spoke in the silence. It is time. That light did not merely awaken the earth, it stirred the soul that had long been asleep. Humanity thought a new day had begun, but in truth a new era was rising, an era in which I make all things new, an era where spiritual light floods the very places once conquered by darkness. My child, when the dawn rises, I am not merely painting the sky, I am rewriting the history of the soul. My child, my dawn is not just the transition between night and day, it is the trumpet of the angels resounding between heaven and earth, awakening the slumbering souls still trapped in shadow. Each ray of first light does not only illuminate the earth but calls forth buried dreams and promises thought forgotten. Like the trumpet that sounds on the day of resurrection, dawn proclaims that life has triumphed over death, light has overcome darkness, and hope has been restored. When the dawn sounds its first trumpet, it is the sign that my angels are on the move. Upon the hilltops still heavy with dew, that light declares from heaven, the new season has come. The gates of heaven are open, a new destiny has begun. That trumpet does not sound only in the physical realm, it reverberates through the spiritual one. It shatters unseen chains, revives weary hearts, and strengthens souls that once felt too faint to stand. I tell you, my child, dawn is not a mere phenomenon, it is the language of heaven. When it rises, I am declaring transformation. Like the trumpets in the book of Revelation, it marks the turning of an age, the opening of a new chapter in my divine plan. And you, my beloved one, are part of that chapter. My dawn is unlike the dawn of man. It is not measured by clocks, but by the movement of my spirit within the hearts of humanity. When I breathe life into the places of death, when I spark hope in hearts that have grown barren, that is when the spiritual dawn begins. You may think that light comes from the east, but truly it flows from my throne, from the place of everlasting glory, where no shadow can reach. For darkness shall cover the earth, and thick darkness the peoples. But the Lord will arise upon you, and his glory will be seen upon you. Isaiah 6:02. My child, the world is now immersed in a long night of the soul, where men place their faith in knowledge, but forget the one who gave wisdom, where they light artificial lamps, yet cannot find their way. They call falsehood freedom and see truth as a prison. They chase the dazzling glow of fame, power, and noise, not knowing they are drifting away from the true light. Yet I still speak not to condemn but to awaken, not to destroy but to renew, not to threaten but to open the season of divine restoration in my plan. Remember this. My child, dawn always begins with darkness. No one can see light unless they have walked through the deep night. Every cry, every tear, every silent pause in your journey is part of the preparation for the first ray of your spiritual morning. I allow the night to linger so that you may learn to long for the light, to recognize its worth when it comes. I am never early nor am I late. I arrive at heaven's perfect hour, and that hour is nearer than you think. My beloved, I am not only calling you to awaken to see the light, I am calling you to become the light. You were created to reflect my glory, just as dawn does not shine by its own power, but reflects the radiance of the Sunday. Every act of love, every truthful word, every steadfast step of faith, these are the small rays that together brighten the spiritual sky of this world. Understand, my beloved child, that when the dawn rises, it is not merely the sign of a beginning, it is my declaration that I am still at work. Even when humanity turns away, even when the world grows cold, I remain faithful to my promise. Light is never swallowed by darkness. It only waits to be revealed at its appointed hour. And that hour is now. I am working in silence, just as the dawn gently awakens after a long, dark night. When the sun is still hidden behind the mountains, men think that nothing is happening. Yet every ray of light is quietly threading its way through the horizon, slowly pushing the night away. So it is with my work in your life. It does not always appear on the surface, yet it unfolds within the divine order I have established. When you think I am silent, that is the moment I am still writing the unseen lines in the scroll of your story, the scroll that was opened before you ever drew your first breath. Dawn never arrives with noise. It comes in stillness, yet it carries the power to transform the world. I am moving in that same way within you. When you prayed through the long nights, I was there. I planted seeds of hope into the dry soil of your soul, and now as my dawn breaks forth, you will witness new life springing up from the very places you thought were dead. Do not doubt what your eyes cannot yet see, my child. I neither slumber nor withdraw. When you are silent, I am speaking. When you pause, I am moving. When you feel dry, I am pouring living water upon the roots of your spirit. Do not let the darkness deceive you into thinking I have gone. The dawn always follows the night, and I am coming to illuminate every hidden corner within you. May your heart remain tender like a field ready to receive the morning dew. Allow me to sow new seeds, the seeds of faith, of gratitude, of absolute trust. For when my dawn arrives in its fullness, those seeds will blossom together. You will understand that no tear was wasted, no prayer unheard, no dark night without meaning. You see fragments, but I behold the whole tapestry. Every moment, every sorrow, every prayer, every trembling step, each is a thread woven into the eternal masterpiece I designed before the foundations of the earth. Humanity sees only pieces, but I see the entire pattern. You feel the wind stirring the grass, but I know the harvest it will bring. You hear the roar of the waves, but I know the depth of the ocean beneath them. I do not merely make history. I weave it with the threads of divine intention. And within those threads you have your place. Never believe that your life is random or your pain meaningless. In my eyes, not a single moment is wasted. Every misstep can be rewoven into my purpose if you allow me to touch it. My child, humanity believes it governs time, shapes destiny, and orders the seasons, but it is I who set time in motion and turn the wheel of seasons. When I command, winter halts. When I lift, my handspring arrives. Likewise, in human life, there are seasons I allow the shadows to fall, not to punish, but to prepare for rebirth. There are pauses I ordain not to end, but to realign your heartbeat with the rhythm of heaven. You see the world shifting, societies trembling, hearts unsettled, but do not fear. When I reorder the pulse of humanity, what appears chaotic is merely the music being retuned by my hand. Men hear dissonance, but I hear harmony being born. For the rhythm of heaven is not the rhythm of earth. The pace of men is measured by productivity, achievement, and success, but mine is measured by grace, patience, and transformation. If I were to show you the entire map, you would no longer need faith. So I let you walk step by step, learning that light not only guides it, trains your trust. Your faith is not a tool to obtain what you desire. It is the key that brings your heart into alignment with my divine design. My beloved child, I am rebuilding the rhythm of humanity not through war or power, but through a spiritual awakening. You see the systems collapsing, the values fading, the patterns breaking, but I see a new foundation being laid. I am breaking the old molds of fear, of control, of pride, to form a generation that listens more to my voice than to the noise of the world. I am calling humanity back to its first breath, to the rhythm where man was not the center, but where I was the source of life. I am teaching the world how to breathe again, to slow down in love, to pause in prayer, to grow still and listen. When my children learn to live slowly in me, they will see that everything I arrange has its own rhythm. The dawn does not arrive too early nor too late. The waves do not rush nor delay. And so it is with my grace. It always comes right on time. My child, do not measure my work by what your eyes can see in this fleeting moment, for human sight perceives only the surface. But I move in the depths. You see stillness, yet I am in motion. You see desolation, yet I am birthing new life. You see all things standing still, but truly I am weaving a wondrous tapestry that only the light of my presence will reveal in full. Just as dawn does not arrive with noise, but with the quiet spreading of light across the horizon, so my works unfold in silence, until the appointed time when they will blaze forth and none shall deny their glory. I do not let you wait in vain. I allow you to walk through the process, so you may learn to trust in what eyes cannot see and hands cannot grasp. For when you truly believe, you will discover that miracles are not merely what happens outside you, but what transforms within you, where faith is made steadfast, where will is refined, where love deepens. And in that sacred inner place I bring forth realities beyond your comprehension. My divine plan is an eternal masterpiece, each soul a fragment of its design, each life a brushstroke, and each generation a chapter in the symphony of eternity. Do not fear if your piece seems small, for in my hands even the smallest detail completes the celestial design. I do not need your greatness, I desire your obedience. For the obedience of one humble soul can redirect the flow of history. When the dawn rises, none can halt it. And when I rise to defend you, every voice of accusation will fall silent before the light of my justice. That is the blessing I have reserved for you, the blessing of righteousness, peace, and glory, sealed in the everlasting covenant between you and me. Do not let fear of the new land make you hesitate, for I do not merely send you forth, I go before you. I do not only show the way, I am the way. The land you are about to enter may seem vast and strange, but it is there that I have already planted the seeds of blessing, waiting only for your steps to make them bloom. Do not gaze upon the barren fields that fill that land and think yourself too small. Those fields exist only to display my power, not to destroy you. The spiritual dawn does not come to comfort you where you are, but to awaken you to step out of what is familiar. I am enlarging the stakes of your tent, your influence, your spiritual reach, and the territory I have called you to claim for my kingdom. Look around this world today, faces smiling with empty eyes, souls busy yet lifeless. People rush through the currents of work, the crowded schedules, the endless plans without pausing to ask their hearts, why do I live? They awaken but are not truly awake. They speak but do not truly listen. They love but no longer feel. Their hearts have become machines programmed to function without wonder or warmth. And I see those souls not with judgment, but with deep compassion. For I know what made them this way: the fear of being hurt, the weight of responsibility, the heartbreak of hopes shattered too many times. They have built invisible walls around their hearts to survive, yet, in guarding themselves from pain, they have also shut out my light. And then I came like the first light of dawn, touching a barren garden. When my light first reached it, the ground broke open, moisture rose, and the seeds once thought dead began to stir with life. So it is with the human soul. Beneath the dry soil of weariness, doubt, and numbness, there remain the seeds. I once planted the seeds of faith, of kindness, of the holy dreams that the world cannot destroy. I need only one ray of light, and everything begins to change. I do not want you merely to become better, my child. I want you to live again. I did not come to improve you, but to resurrect you. For your soul was never made to simply exist, it was created to shine. My beloved, awakening does not come from noise, but from stillness. Not when you reach the heights of success, but when you are willing to stop and realize how far you have wandered from the source of light. When you sit down in silence, when tears fall for no reason, when your heart can only whisper, "Father, save me," that is when your spiritual dawn begins to break. I will come not in the storm, not in the earthquake, but in the gentle breeze of my spirit. I will enter the garden of your soul, soft as morning dew, warm as early sunlight. I will pull up the weeds of bitterness, trim away the dry branches of pride, refresh the soil with the water of grace, and sow again the seeds of peace. You will see where desolation once reigned, flowers of gratitude will bloom. Where the cracked earth once lay silent, the fragrance of new life will rise, and the place once overtaken by darkness will become my garden. When your soul awakens, the world around you will also change. You will no longer see others through judgment, but through compassion. You will begin to notice miracles in small things, the drop of dew, a smile, a breath. You will understand that it is not the light outside that has changed, but the light within you that has begun to shine. And when you carry that light into the world, you will not merely live, you will cause the world to live again. Do you know why I allow the long night to come before the dawn? Because it is only in the darkness that the seed can sprout. You think it is a season of silence, but it is truly the season of divine germination. There is no dawn without night. There is no resurrection without the tomb. You call it loss, but I call it preparation. In that darkness, I do not abandon you. I hide myself to act. When everything around you seems to fall apart, I am rebuilding from within. When you feel buried, I am planting you in the soil. so that new life may rise. My child, through so many seasons you have wept, so many times you prayed and thought no one was listening. So many times you believed, lost faith, and then believed again in weakness. But I tell you this, not one tear has fallen in vain. Each drop has soaked into the earth, like the morning dew watering the seeds of faith lying hidden within. And now as the dawn breaks, everything that seemed dead is rising again with the light. I am the God of restoration. I do not merely revive what you have lost. I make new what you have never dared to dream. I do not merely mend. I recreate. I do not merely repay. I multiply in glory. As the withered tree buds after the rain, as the barren field blooms after the drought, so your soul is entering a season of complete restoration where your spirit, your emotions, your family, and even your community are being breathed upon with new life. Once your family was divided, words became knives, silence became walls. But now I come to restore the bond of love, not by reason, but by the grace of forgiveness from heaven. The community that was once broken into fragments, I now come to rebuild upon the foundation of unity so that people may learn to weep together, to pray together, and to serve one another in love. I do not bring you back to the old place, for the old place no longer fits you. I am leading you to higher ground, where the light of dawn can reveal your true face. My child, there are things that must die so that true life may be born. There are relationships that must be broken so that you may learn to love without possessing. There are dreams that must be paused so that you may see that I, myself, am the greatest dream. I know you are weary. I know how long you have held on in silence, but now the season of restoration has come. I am awakening what the world thought was dead: faith, hope, compassion, and calling. I am summoning the souls who gave up the hearts that grew cold, the communities that scattered. I am gathering the fragments and weaving them into a new tapestry, more beautiful, more radiant, more eternal. My child, when the first light of dawn floods the valley, it touches the mountaintops first. So it is, when my glory rises upon the earth, it will shine first upon the souls who have remained steadfast in darkness, those who did not turn away when they could no longer see, who did not give up when they had no more strength, and who kept believing even when all seemed silent. They are the obedient ones, those who chose faith over fear, truth over compromise, and faithfulness over convenience. And now their dawn has come. I see those who have sown in tears, the souls who have prayed through long nights unseen, the hearts that have surrendered their own desires to hold on to mine. And I declare the harvest has come. This is the harvest of faith, not because you have accomplished much, but because you have stood firm when there was nothing left to hold on to. You have triumphed because you did not surrender within your spirit. I have seen when you chose silence instead of complaint, forgiveness instead of retaliation, and prayer instead of despair, and I tell you the truth, every act has been recorded in the heavenly scroll. In heaven, no act of obedience is ever wasted. Each time you chose faithfulness, a new ray of light was kindled in the spiritual realm. And when all those rays unite, they become the radiant dawn of a generation. My child, this is the harvest season of the obedient. The seeds they sowed in tears now blossom in glory. The prayers whispered in loneliness have become the anthem of a generation. The steps they took in silence have become a path for many to follow. Do not long for the seed, for now is the time of harvest. I have prepared the fields in you. My child, are among the first to reap. My child, when the dawn has risen and the light has spread across the earth, I do not want you merely to gaze at it. I want you to walk in that light. For light is not given to decorate but to guide, not to adorn but to bring life. Hear this and inscribe it upon your spirit. Light can also blind if you only look but do not move. There are those who are illuminated but remain still, they admire my glory yet refuse to let it transform them. They build temples for the light but do not carry the light beyond the temple. They sing of truth but do not live in it. And gradually the light I gave not to dazzle but to direct becomes a flash that blinds the soul. My child, I give light not so you may grow complacent in blessing, but that you may go out into a world still drowning in darkness. Many, after being awakened, fall asleep again in their own light. They are content with being restored, yet forget that blessing is not the destination, it is the beginning of a mission. The light does not remain in the dawn. It must journey through noon and shine into the deepest places of humanity. Look, my child, at this world. So many souls still wander in the long night, even though the light has already come. They see yet do not perceive. They hear yet do not understand. They speak of light, yet still love the darkness. I call you not only to see, but to live, not only to be saved, but to become a messenger of light. If you stop at merely knowing me without walking with me, the light within you will gradually fade and faith will turn into memory. Light is movement, it never stands still. It spreads, it touches, it reveals, and it transforms. Therefore, my child, when you cease to move, the light within you ceases to grow. Do not let your soul become passive in the very thing it once longed for. Nothing is more perilous than a heart that once burned for me but now holds only fading embers. Remember, this darkness does not exist only where there is no light, but also where light is withheld. If you keep the light only for yourself, your soul will become a place of glare, where light no longer illuminates but burns. So let the light within you be used through your words, your actions, your compassion, and your forgiveness. Let it shine into the places others fear to enter. Bring it to the broken, the lost, the silenced. For in giving light you preserve it. My beloved child, I know you once longed to witness miracles, but now I tell you this: you are the miracle when you live true to the light that has been entrusted to you. The world does not need more voices proclaiming, but more lives radiating the truth. They need to see kindness in your eyes, sincerity in your words, and faith in your way of living. And when you live this way, you are not merely saved, you become the heartbeat of new life amid a weary world. Yet remember, my child, light is also fire. It can warm, but it can also consume. If you grow proud, light turns into the fire of vanity. If you judge, light becomes a sword. If you forget to love, light turns into a dying flame. Therefore I command you, keep humility in the light. Let me remain the source and you merely the vessel. For when you abide in humility, your light will never be extinguished. Stay awake. The dawn has come, but the sun is still rising. Do not stop halfway. Walk in the light until your whole life becomes a complete day where no shadow can dwell. Let every breath, every word, every act become a ray that extends heaven's glow. So my child, stay awake, awake in blessing, awake in calling, awake even in peace. Let my light in you never stand still, but continue to move, to shine, and to spread. For I have placed within you an unfading flame, the light of the kingdom, the light of love, the light of hope. Carry it, guard it, and remember, light is only true when it guides others. My child, when the light has crossed the mountaintop, when dawn has reached even the deepest valleys, a new beginning is unfolding not only on earth, but also within the realm of the spirit. All that was old is fading away, all that was dead is stirring to life, and all that seemed ended is beginning again under my power. I declare, behold, I make all things new. Revelation 2:1-5. This is not merely a promise, it is the decree of heaven. From the first breath of creation to the final moment of history, every work of mine points toward one purpose: the complete renewal of all things in glory. And now, my child, you are living in the hour of that renewal. The world you see may seem chaotic, but in my eyes it is the trembling of creation preparing for transformation. Every shaking, every breaking, every upheaval is aligning toward a new order where I am reshaping values, reordering priorities, and restoring the bond between heaven and humanity. What appears ruined is only the cracking of the old vessel so that the light of the new season may pour in. Just as the seed must break for life to emerge and the earth must tremble for the spring to awaken, I am stirring all things to make way for what is new. You have journeyed through the long night of testing, through the season of restoration, and now you are stepping into the age of divine creation. This is not merely a time of receiving grace, it is a time of co-creating with me. I call you not only to witness, but to build. I want you to become a creator of newness with me. My child, my new season is unlike any before it. It is not merely a season of recovery, but of creation, not just of rebirth, but of transformation. Not just of return, but of advancement. For I do not bring humanity back to the beginning, I lead them forward to the fulfillment of glory. In this season of beginnings, I will open many eyes to see that everything I do carries purpose. The things you once could not understand will now become clear. The moments you regretted I will turn into testimonies. What you once called failure, I will transform into the foundation of your calling. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Every experience, every wound, every fall has become material for the new work I am building within you. My child, do not fear renewal. Many fear stepping into the new because they love the comfort of the old, even when the old no longer holds life. But I declare only those who dare to step out of the shadow will behold the fullness of light. Do not cling to what I am dismantling, for when I take apart it is to rebuild stronger. Do not fear the closing of doors, for I am opening pathways to realms you have never imagined. And do not think it is too late, for my timing is not bound by yours. My beloved, I am rebuilding you from within, not only your spirit, but your emotions, thoughts, and vision. I am pouring new oil, new wine, and giving new hearts to this generation. This is the season of beginnings for those who hear and obey. I will cause unheard of ideas to bloom, open doors no one thought possible, and plant in your heart dreams that come from heaven, not for your exaltation, but so the world may know that I am still at work. I call you to step out of the shell of fear, to leave behind the old ways of living and thinking, to rise above the limits set by men. This is the hour of true freedom, where the soul soars in the skies of faith, where the mind is no longer confined by walls, and the heart loves and serves without fear of being wounded. For when you walk in, my light fear dissolves and true life begins. Believe, for I never begin a work without intending to complete it. The new beginning is not a distant promise, but a present reality unfolding in the souls of those who are ready. You will see renewal flow like a river, from individuals to families, from families to communities, from communities to nations. For I am not renewing a few, I am renewing the earth itself. Rejoice, for this is not merely the dawn of a day, but the dawn of an era of grace. This is the time when I make all things new, restore what was ancient, and breathe life into every soul that has grown cold. Receive what I am doing. Let your soul move in harmony with heaven's rhythm, for your hour, the hour of your new beginning, has come. Rise, my child, and behold, a new heaven and a new earth are opening before your eyes. May the word of the Lord remind you each day to live in His faith and love. Click follow and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss the sacred and meaningful messages God desires to share with you. May the Lord bless you. Amen.